What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in to another live show, Jaguars United live show. Appreciate you guys being here. I mean, what a time to be a Jags fan. Before we jump into the live show, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're watching this show back on replay, that means that you did not subscribe and you didn't get a notification and you weren't able to watch it. So make sure you subscribe to that to make sure that you can be a part of the live shows. The live shows, we do comments. We talk about the comments. We talk. I want to get the fans' opinion. This is a fan show to talk about the Jags. So make sure you're involved in this show. If you are here watching, make sure to get into the comments and be a part. This is an interactive show. You can also follow us on Twitter, Jaguars_United, Instagram, Jaguars United _. Now, the OTAs are beginning, and I definitely want to talk a little bit about that, but kind of expectations for this year is kind of what I want to kind of talk about a little bit more. Like, what are you guys expecting to happen now the schedule's out? We're kind of seeing the ETN's back, players like that, so it should definitely be a good offseason, I hope, with Doug Peterson and all of those things. I do want to talk a little bit about some other fun things that I'm doing with the channel, but we'll get to that in a second. Before we get into that, I want to hit the comments here. Zach is whacked. First one in here says, yo, yo, yo. What up, Zach? Kev B says, Duval. That's right, Kev B. Zach is whacked. Says, I'm so stoked for this season. I feel a drastic change. Like, you can kind of feel it in the air. Like, last year, we kind of had the feeling in the air with Urban Meyer. We're like, oh, it's new, things like that. But now it's like it's different. Like, Trevor's going to a second year. They spent money in the offseason on weapons with Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram and Brandon Sheriff, and ETN's back healthy. James Robinson hopefully comes back healthy. All of those things should be really good. Charlie Boy says, what's up, guys? What's up, Charlie Boy? I'm glad you're here. Robert Moore says, agreed. He can feel the change as well. Robert Atwood says, what's up? Long time no see. Robert, okay, so there's a reason. There's a reason. I've been working on some other stuff on the side. I'm really excited to tell you guys about it. Pokey443 says, hello. Hello, Pokey. Charlie Boy. Robert, I see you on Let's Talk Jets Radio. LOL, cool guys over there. Okay, all right. You guys are getting over to the Jets territory as well, huh? Sedin Sesko says, let's go Duval. This season's got to be the turning point. Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be fun. ETN was flying, says Robert Atzer. Yeah, I mean, look, this is going to be a lot of the season is going to be predicated on Travis Etienne and what he can do this season. Not having him last year really hurt the offense. Not having really anything last year. Those names I mentioned before. I mean, like Trevor's got more help. The team addressed the offense in the offseason with free agency. They didn't do much in the draft. Some people were upset about that, but they definitely addressed the defense in the draft, and they definitely did that. So, look, you got to do what you got to do. You got to play with who you have. The line should be improved and all those things as well. Cash Suit says, I don't hate Trent Baalke. I said what I said. So, Trent Baalke has had this kind of like resurrection of notoriety or support, really. People are okay with the draft, I guess. They're okay with the free agent signings. I think once the fans saw that he's going to be here and there's nothing that you can do about it, then you kind of like get on board or get off. And most people here, like you guys are like myself, like you want to root for this team. Like you want Trent Baalke to do well. I mean, you want him to make good picks. You want him to put together and assemble a team that can win and can give Trevor support. You know, him being at the Lemon Bar. I talked about this on my Twitter. Like, he was at the Lemon Bar, took pictures with fans. Like, that one thing he did of interaction with fans did more for his reputation than anything he's done as a GM. And it's like, it's not that hard to connect with fans. It's not that hard to connect with your fan base. Just go out there, be a human, and you know, own your mistakes, own the good things you do, and people are, you know, they're going to, I mean, listen, the clown movement was insane. I've never seen anything like it before. I mean, people were just up in arms about trying to get him out of here as the GM, and now people seem to be okay with it. So it happens quick. Things turn quick. Robert Adler says, Kirk's got that second gear. Christian Kirk, look, I love talking about Christian Kirk. I can talk about him forever. I mean, again, the guy is going to be better here in Jacksonville than he was in Arizona. And the reason is because Christian Kirk is actually a much more prototypical NFL wide receiver than a lot of people think. The things that make him excel as a receiver are, you know, he's quick off the release as a receiver, He's quick out of his break. He stacks DBs in his routes. He runs crisp routes. He catches the ball. All of those things like you want in like a prototypical NFL receiver. Arizona didn't run a prototypical offense. They ran an offense where Kyler Murray would get outside the pocket. He would extend plays with his legs, and he would look for kind of improv situations. And then Christian Kirk doesn't really flourish in those situations, I don't think. I think here in Jacksonville, he's going to be a guy that can run the route he's supposed to. He's really good on out-breaking routes, the corner routes, the fade routes, the back shoulders, like all of those things like he excels in. I think he's one of the top corner route receivers in the league. So I think when we see him here in Jacksonville with Trevor Lawrence, that you're going to see some good things happening for sure. Robert Moore says, LOL, giving him a chance. So people are like ready to give Trent Baalke a chance. So look, this is his first time him being the main guy who drafts the team by himself. I mean, he was either under Caldwell, or I think we all kind of believed that Urban Meyer was the guy who made the picks last year. So yeah, I think Baalke is going to be the guy this year, and we got to give him a chance, I guess. I mean, people seem to be okay with the picks. Travon Walker, I mean, is the one pick that people are not really too sure about. Devin Lloyd. I'd like to get y'all's opinion. Like, did we overdraft on linebackers? Like, I saw a picture of Chad Muma at the Town Center, and his measurables on PFF for linebackers were insane. His like vertical leap was insane. He bench pressed 225 like 27 times. I mean, the guy's a freak athlete. But where's he gonna play? Like, that's my I kind of want to pull up something here. And just I just want to I just want to look it through with you guys. Like, I really do. Like, let's take a look. Okay. That's not working. Okay, let's try this one right here. Okay. Let's get to... Okay, this is what I want to see right here. All right. So, this really isn't a good picture either. Maybe this one's better. I didn't plan... Okay, at all. Okay, so here we have, like, your typical 3-4. And, look, I want to get y'all's opinion here, okay? So, this is your standard 3-4. Your 3 down linemen. Your 4 linebackers here, your 2 DBs, and your safety here. So most people are assuming that here. Let me go ahead. Here, I got you guys. This is why we do live shows, boys. Where is it? Where's my epic pen at? Okay, here we go. All right. So we are going to draw them. Okay, so I'm going to say we're going to call the defense's right the weak side. So we're going to put T-Walk here. Okay? This is too big of a pencil. We need a smaller pencil here. Okay, T-Walk here. Here you're going to have... Here you're gonna. That's my pen is failing me. Okay, here we're gonna have your inside linebacker. This is gonna be Alukin, right? Aluk. Okay, I don't know how to spell it. Alukin. Okay, so here you have Lloyd. Right, you have Lloyd here. Here you're gonna have Josh Allen. So I think most people in like our base set would agree that this is going to be how we're going to be set up. Travon Walker, Alukin, Lloyd, Josh Allen. Now, here you're going to have some variation of, and again, I'm just throwing names out here. Like, I think this could be like where people are interchangeable. I like the pickup of Fatsuki, whatever his name is. I think you have Devon Hamilton here. We'll put Ham. And this is going to be some like Roy Robertson Harris or Tufele or something like that, right? And I think here you're going to have, this is going to be, who we put on those on the weak side. I think you're going to have Campbell on the weak side. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do this. We'll put Campbell on the weak side. And then we'll put Griffin on the strong side. Okay, so this is what pretty much everyone's like, pretty much going to be here. Some people are saying Gotsis, okay, because Gotsis has been, so maybe we'll put, so again, this is going to be like a rotation. This could be Gotsis, I don't know. And then at free safety, you're going to have some variation of Cisco, Thomas, right? Here you're going to have your boy Dewey. Master, this is where so this is kind of how I see it shaping up here. Robert Atzert says Muma going to be playing this like strong safety right here. Like again, I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that in a second. Okay, so let's bring this back. Okay, so this could be the setup. It could be here. Okay, let's move it down here. This is standard. Oh, I wish we had some sort of nickel. Okay. So let's say that we were in some sort of nickel package here. Okay. So this is not right. Sorry, guys. We got to get it right here. Okay. So if we're in a nickel, then obviously we're going to have Leonard or Williams right here as a nickel back. Dude, what is happening to my but so I think this is your setup. But the problem is like this is your 3-4 setup. Like this is your base package situation, right? This is like what happens when you are in first down, short yardage situations. This is when, you start the game like this. But most of the time, more than 50% of the time, the game is played in nickel. Okay, so let's get rid of this here. I don't know why my pin is. I don't know why it's so big now. Oh, here we go. Okay, so then let's say so if we get into if we're in a nickel situation, all right. So nickel, what's going to happen is basically we're just going to scratch this guy out here. We're going to have another defensive back here. So we'll call this nickel. Okay, so in nickel, you have a cornerback here. And then now, this is a situation where I see, this end now being Walker. This tackle still being Hamilton. This one still being, maybe Fatsuki or, some variation of Gotsis or something like that. Still going to have Griffin out here. You're still going to have Campbell out here. And, this is going to be your Williams right here. Sorry if I'm spelling them wrong. And then again, so this is what your little 3-3 stack. You still end up with Lloyd and Alukin. And so, like, this is where, like, I don't know what happens. Like maybe Muma plays here. Maybe Lloyd plays here. Maybe Josh Allen comes down and plays one of these ends. Like, you do have some versatility. But if you're going with your starters here, and this is Allen, then like you can see where Muma is like not getting on the fields unless we're in a specific situation. Unless he's like someone like you said, unless he's playing strong safety. Unless he's playing strong safety, then Muma. And again, you don't really want him in a strong safety role because what if they spread the field 5 wide and then now you have to have you're playing cover 2 or even a cover 1? Like he's going to be responsible for middle of the field, robber, like someone said there. But it seems like we drafted him pretty high for that situation. And again, I mean maybe I'm wrong. I mean I don't know. But I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Robert Atzert says Muma, strong safety in high school and college. Williams says Muhammad Fahmy says Saad. Yep. Muma will be a safety linebacker hybrid, dude. Okay. I see a big year for Andre Cisco. Muma playing money backer. Would like to see Robert linebacker get depth in Tampa too. Almost too much versatility, says Nasir. I don't know. I need to see how they look preseason. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Would rather have Walker with his hand in the dirt as a DN on the strong side, Muma and Alukin as the inside linebacker, and Lloyd the weak side. Allen the strong side as a linebacker. Hamilton's the DT. Fatukasi is the weak side D end. So I think I'm with Bradley there. I think that's what they end up doing. Let me see if I can see a. Let me see if I can find a nickel setup here and see how it could look in a nickel. 3-4 defense nickel. Yeah, I mean, I like this. This is Notre Dame's. They're calling it Notre Dame's defense here. Okay, so let's see here. That's kind of hard to see in it. I got you guys. Don't worry. All right, so this is like a nickel situation right here, right? Where did my pen go? All right, so they're calling this the cat and dog, right? So this is kind of what people were talking about. I mean, does this become Muma right here? I mean, that's what, that's what I'm saying. Like, he gets in tough situations when he, let's go blue here, because this has to be, unless you're gonna put like Lloyd here, Allen, or I'm sorry, see, this is where it gets complicated. Like, you could put Lloyd here at the edge. You could put a Luke in here. And then, I mean, I know Muma is probably more of a Mike and Lucan's probably more of a Will, but they're pretty interchangeable, I mean, based on the strength. I mean, is this guy, I mean, I don't know. I mean, does this guy does Muma walk down here in short situations? Like, maybe Muma plays here, but then he went out and got Williams at DB to do nothing, right? Unless he's just depth. I just have trouble seeing where they're going to put everybody. Like, I just do. And I get it. Look, depth is good. Depth is good. I just don't understand where they're. I don't know how much he's gonna play. And again, maybe I'm just like overcooking the grits here, and like it might be a situation where it's not gonna matter at all. But I still would like to see all these guys on the field, and they're not going to be, I don't think. So, I mean, I don't know. Muma will be close to the line, the cat or the dog. Okay, it's Christopher Rainey. Yeah. DJM says Hamilton is better than Roy Robertson Harris. Yeah, absolutely. Nasir Premier agrees with Brad. Let's see what Brad had to say. Logan Unfiltered says, I like this. Okay, Bradley Rourke. Would rather... Okay, yeah, so that's what I was reading. Okay, so... I guess, Bradley, the only problem with that, and this is just comes like immediate issue, is can Lloyd play the weak side backer? Because he played kind of that Mike backer at Utah pretty much exclusively. He lined up at sometimes on the outside, but most of the time he was that Mike backer, kind of flow into the ball. Is he going to be able to seal the edge? Now, I've been watching some film on him. I've gotten through like 3 or 4 games. But what has to happen is, and let's see if I can find a good picture here. This one's pretty good. Okay. So, like in this picture here, this one's perfect. I should have done some research and done this from the beginning here. Okay, so we're going to go with Brad's. This is Brad's for nickel. This is what Brad wants here, okay? So, Brad wants, he wants his hand in the dirt, D end, Walker on the strong side. So, since his tight end's here, tight end is here, then that means this is Walker here, which is fine. So then that gives you, let's see, we'll go. Muma and Alukin is the inside, so you have Muma here, Alukin here, Lloyd is the weak side, so this would be Lloyd. Weak side, D end is Fatsuki. And then this is Ham right here. We're missing Allen. Allen's a strong side. Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. So you're Muma and Alukin is the inside. Lloyd is the weak. Allen is the strong. So this has to be Allen right here. Sorry, guys. So you're saying this is Allen. This is... And correct me if I'm wrong here, Bradley. So then that makes this Walker. Is that what you're saying? Makes... Muma and Alukin on the inside. Lloyd is the weak. So this has to be Lloyd here. Muma. Alukin. And Fatsuki. So this is your setup right here. Sorry. This is your setup. So this is essentially a 3-4. I know Florida boy, you're saying this is so basically what would make this a 3-4 was Lloyd would be back here. So this is the only difference between a 3-4 is that Lloyd would be back here a little bit. And then you may have a tad shift of Muma here and a tad shift of Alukin. The 3-4 to the 4-3 aren't really that big of a difference. This would just be, I mean, you would be here, set up here. So Florida boy, you're saying not nickel, but so here's what I'm saying. Here's my problem is I think that you're going to be a nickel most of the time. You're going to be, I mean, early downs you're not, but most of the time you are going to be a nickel. So, you know, if this guy's Lloyd, I mean, if they're not nickel, this guy's Lloyd at linebacker, and then this is Tufele or Gotsis or something like that. So this seems like the natural setup here for a nickel. And like again, like here's the problems. This isn't really a natural position for Walker. You know, he did this at Georgia, but you know, playing this inside shoulder of the guard, I mean, that's not something he did a lot. Not saying he couldn't do it, but that's not something he did a lot. Another issue I would have here is that if any type of run or flow this way, Lloyd's now having to set the edge. And Lloyd isn't really a big guy. And so, again, this is kind of the issue is that, like, can he turn this back inside? Because if this tackle can reach him or this guard reaches him, then now you're in a situation where the only people that can make tackles are Muma and this safety. And this is, you know, free as Cisco, Dewey. Then now Cisco's having to make a tackle like in this area, or where these DBs have to beat these receivers in a block. Unless Lloyd can keep his outside shoulder free, which again this would be predicated on that. Does Lloyd have more of a chance of keeping his outside shoulder free if he's coming from here? Maybe he does, and maybe that's fair. And maybe Muma takes good gaps there. Luke is flowing backside. Nasir says stunts for Walker and Allen. Yeah, I mean, I like that. Fatsuki crashes. But again, the thing that would worry me, and if I was a coach, you know, some like motion from this tight end here, then you get a shift of Lloyd down here, Muma over, Alukin over. And now again, Lloyd's going to have to keep his outside shoulder free. That concerns me a little bit. And this goes back to my issue with how do you get everybody on the field? Because I kind of feel like Lloyd and Muma are the same player. Not the same player, like they're not the same skill set, but they play the same position. And Alukin, you know, a linebacker I think has to get on the field because of his play here. Robert Etchert says, switch Lloyd and Muma. Okay, so you want Lloyd here, and Muma here. So now you're asking Muma to keep that shoulder free. That could work. But now, I mean, he's playing real close to the line of scrimmage. I mean, he's a pretty big guy. I mean, he might be able to do it. I don't know. I mean, it could work. I mean, we got talent. If anything, we have depth. I think more realistically, you Muma comes off the bench, plays special teams, kind of works his way into the rotation a little bit. If there's an injury, he plays. And then, okay, so this is what this is how I would put it. Again, this is nickel, so this guy could be here. So if this were my defense, and we were in this 3-3 stack here, I would play Hamilton here as the strong side nose. I would play Walker here as the strong side end. I would play Josh Allen. Wait, I'll put a Luke in here. I'd put Josh Allen here. I'm sorry, Allen here. Lloyd here. And then this would be some variation of Gotsis, Tufele. I'm a big Tufele guy. So this is what I would run right here. And then you have Williams, Campbell, Griffin, Cisco. I can't spell. Cisco, Dewey. This is what I would run right here. And so, I mean, again, this is what I think they end up doing. And because of that, like, that's why I'm a little concerned with the Muma pick. Because it's like, where's Muma going to fit in here? Maybe he is the guy that fills in, like, a substitution package. Maybe he's the guy that, comes in on to relieve guys or on injuries or passing downs and things like this. But I think this ends up being your lineup here for your front seven. It's not a bad front seven at all. I have no problem with this front seven at all. And I have no problem with Chad Muma. It just seems like at where we drafted Muma, we could have gotten the value somewhere else. Like, we could have taken a safety. Jenkins, gosh, I really don't like Jenkins at all. Jenkins, I mean, I never talk bad about players. I just can't have a guy that's a captain of my team getting thrown out of multiple games. I mean, that just really irked me the wrong way. So, I don't know. We'll see. Definitely a fun thought experiment, though. That's for sure. That's for sure. Okay, how do I get rid of this thing? Okay, and we're back. Yeah, I don't know. Florida Boy says 3-4 is Muma playing time. Rather have Rashawn Jenkins in Dewey's spot. I don't know, man. I know Dewey gets a lot of crap, but I think Dewey is going to see the field. I really do. I think he's going to end up seeing the field for sure. Nasir Effett goal line package from kickoff. I like it. That's what I would do too, says Florida Boy. We can run a 5-2. Okay, now I was talking about a 5-2. We could run a 5-2. That's actually not a bad idea. Top 10 defense incoming, says Brett James. What up, Brett? How's it going? Ben Hone, yeah, I'd rather have Rashawn Jenkins. Look, again, Rashawn Jenkins getting thrown out of games. Like, I just can't handle that. I cannot handle you getting thrown out of games. Like, don't punch people. It's not that hard. Don't punch people. Whippipo Hefe says, Muma is third pick. Why do they have to force him? I mean, third-round picks need to see the field. I mean, we're talking guys like Andre Cisco in the past, third-round picks, Ngakwe. I mean, guys that are third-round picks play. I mean, they need to play, especially when you're in a team that's bad at the Jags. Like, you got to play everybody. You got to get value there. I mean, that's, one of the best 100 players in the draft. So you got to play. Robert Moore, I could see momentarily Brown move to safety. Monteric Brown. Okay, I can see Monteric Brown move to safety. Okay. Moon Illusions, I really do. Nice pun. Robert Azert, ditto. Jenkins and Griffin need to look over their shoulders. Yeah. Look, Shaq Griffin, not a guy that impressed me at all last year. I mean, I really thought that he was kind of underwhelming. The drop, I mean, something I was talking with a buddy the other day. If he catches 2 of those interceptions, he drops. If he catches 2 of those, does he become a better player? I mean, do we think of him differently if he has 2 interceptions? He was in position for a couple, but you got to catch him. Bradley Rourke says, I love Cisco and Thomas for sure. Yeah. I mean, that's honestly where I'd probably end up at the end of the year with Cisco and Thomas, if you ask me. Jesus is King. What up, Jesus King? He says, Jenkins has been a liability in pass coverage. He's been a liability in everything. In run, in pass, as a team captain, staying in the game. An untimely 15-yard unnecessary roughness after the play penalty to extend a third down drive. Yeah, that's a liability. That's for sure. Safety is our weakness right now. And that's what I was saying. Like, maybe they didn't have a safety on their board when they took Muma. Maybe they didn't. But, like, you kind of feel like you could have gotten something there. I mean, especially if Muma doesn't play a lot. Could we start Cisco and Thomas? Yeah, Moon Illusions again. I mean, I'm kind of agreeing with Bradley Rorick here. I mean, I think that's where we end up. And I think that's the two best safeties there. And I think that's what we end up doing. Jesus King, we have some nice depth at tight end. I wonder if that guy Buchanan makes the team. Yeah, for sure. I mean, you're looking at just the 1-2 punch of Evan Ingram and Dan Arnold, and I think I'm big on Evan Ingram. Like initially, I was a little like skeptical, and I know it's a 1-year deal, prove it deal. Those don't typically like last too long, but I kind of like what he's doing. I kind of like Doug Peterson's a tight end guy. We talk about this all the time. When Doug Peterson was in Philadelphia every year, but his last year, Zach Ertz was his leading receiver, receptions and yards. So he likes to lean on tight ends. He likes to use them. Between Evan Ingram and Dan Arnold, I think we have a pretty decent season. Now, can Dan Arnold stay healthy? Can Evan Ingram stay healthy? Maybe between the two of them, you get a full season. But Evan Ingram has been pretty good the last 2 years. I think I heard on the radio the other day that Evan Ingram's worst season as a professional would have been third all time as a Jaguars tight end. So that's crazy. Something to think about. Moon Illusion says, I hope Austin Jr. makes his way onto the roster. Yeah, I mean, every year there is a guy that the undrafted free agent that the fans want to keep. I mean, I can go back and back and back and back to every single year, and I think he is the one this year. Now, how many receivers do you keep? Because top of my head, you Christian Kirk, Laviska Shenault, Marvin Jones, Laquan Treadwell, Jamal Agnew. That's 5. So if those 5, like all things considered, I know Agnew had a pretty serious injury, so maybe there's a spot open for him until he gets healthy. But like between those 5, I mean, you don't typically keep 6. And we haven't even mentioned everybody. So I don't know. I mean, a lot of people like him. Like you gotta have height, you gotta have size for sure. I think Evan Ingram ends up being like the tall guy, the height guy. I mean, we'll see though. On practice squad, but would keep him over Farrell if it came down to it. Yeah, Luke Farrell. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that was definitely an Urban Meyer pick. I mean, that was an Ohio State homer pick. I can see Luke Farrell not making the team. He wasn't very productive last year. He was hurt though. To his defense, he was hurt. Ben Hone says, or Haney. I'm sorry, isn't it Haney? Did I learn that already? Sorry, Ben. I don't know. I'm sorry. Jenkins is more athletic than Dewey. I think he will be better behaved with a better coaching staff. I'm warming up to the Cisco Thomas combo though. I didn't like Jenkins, man, and I hope I'm wrong, but I did not like him at all. Cisco and Thomas would be impossible to be worse than Jenkins and Wingard. That's true. It's funny. Wingard had like the most like random like he'd make an amazing play and then he'd make a boneheaded play, and that's inconsistent. I hate inconsistent players. Jesus King says, "What's up, Jason?" Jesus King, thank you for asking what's up. I'm glad someone out there cares about me. I'm just kidding. It's not about me. I will tell you though. I'll say what I was going to say. So I'm starting another channel. Okay, so I've been working on it all last 2 weeks. Starting another channel. Starting next week, I'm doing a daily morning show. That's all sports. It's not just Jags. Still gonna keep the Jaguar stuff going, but in the summer. I'm actually off. Like I have a pretty light work schedule. So, and the Jags news is kind of slow over the summer, right? Definitely until like late July, August. So I figured it's a great opportunity to kind of jump into a little side project I wanted to do, and I wanted to do just an all sports show talking about sports. So it's gonna be all sports. It's gonna be every day, like every morning. It's gonna be a short 30-minute, hour-long show. Short hour-long show. You know how it is. But it's going to be on podcast as well. So if you will listen to it in your car or, at the gym or whatever else, it's going to be on podcast and YouTube. And it's actually called, the Jay Trent Show. Let me see. I'll type it in here. I want you guys to all go subscribe to it because I'm going to start doing stuff, on Monday. So I'm going to put in the chat right here. Everybody goes. I don't know if that works. That link works. I think it should. Just go subscribe to it. That's my little side project. I know you guys that are here. You guys are part of the family here. So go to that. Subscribe to it. I'm gonna do some stuff starting Monday. A daily show talking about all sports. So if you only like the Jags, you probably won't really like it that much. But if you like other sports as well, I'm a sports fanatic. I watch all sports. So I talk all things sports. Yeah, so I see the questions coming in about the Gators, the Magic. Listen, I can talk all day I can talk all these sports. So go subscribe to it. It's going to be a fun time. That's my little plug. I don't want to spend too much time on it. I'm going to plug it again later in the week. But starting Monday, daily show. So I'll give you something to do. Thank you, Jesus King. Thank you. But Mood Illusion says, I heard Trevor made a great 45-yard throw rolling to his left to Manhurts yesterday. See, Manhurts is a guy that no one's talking about. Like, he's probably just the blocking tight end, like probably. But at the same time, like, he's probably going to make the roster, right? And that's a decent 3 tight ends. You don't usually keep 4 tight ends. So whoever was talking about Luke Farrell not making the team, you're probably on to something, unless there's an injury or something like that. Because between Ingram, Arnold, and Manhurts, I don't think there's many snaps to go around there. Florida boy Burn says, Eagles fans say the reason for Peterson's horrible final year is because Frank Reich left. Yeah, I heard that too. And that's what all the Colts fans wanted to say, right? The Colts fans were like, oh, it's all about Frank Reich. They wanted to kind of hype up Frank Reich. But the guy won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles. That's all I can say. You got the pronunciation right, correct? Or congrats, Ben Haney. Yeah, so I felt bad. My bad, Ben. I'll remember from here on out. Gerald McKinnon. I'd keep Agnew at kickoff and punt returns only. Only use as a receiver in emergency or some trick plays. Now, Gerald, I see what you're saying, but I do think you're in the minority there. I think a lot of people love Josh Agnew. I mean, some of our biggest plays last year, they were special teams, but even had him as wide receiver. I think he's a guy that can actually give you something at wide receiver. Now, how will he bounce back from his injury is actually going to be a pretty interesting thing to look into, because it was a pretty serious injury, and when a guy that relies on speed like him, you're going to want to come back. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It could be good. But again, even if you keep him as a special teams guy only, he's still a 5th guy. And do you get a 6th guy, even though, maybe. Usually you keep a 6th receiver or DB, so maybe that could be where they do it. Illusion says the infamous 102-yard return. Yeah, for sure. It's definitely going to be interesting to see where they go with that. I'm hesitant to think they keep more than 5. Because every year we want them to keep more than 5, right? Whether it's Colin Johnson or it was Alan Lazard, like we always want them to keep like that 6th guy, like just in case, but they never do. They never do. And they sign Laquan Treadwell, and maybe they get rid of Laviska. Maybe Laviska does get cut. Every year someone gets cut that we don't think is going to. So we know someone's going to get cut. That it's going to be surprising. And if I were to throw out some names, Rayshawn Jenkins, Laviska Shenault, these are guys that are coming to my mind, like, of surprise guys that could get cut. Roy Robertson Harris, I can see him getting cut. But every year it happens, so it'll be interesting to see. Kirk, Zay Jones. I forgot about Zay Jones. We're talking about Zay Jones here. Now we got 6. Christian Kirk, Marvin Jones, Zay Jones, Laviska Shenault, Jamal Agnew. They make the team. Treadwell, he just got signed by this front office. I think Treadwell makes the team. Yeah, look. I think Agnew is going to – I don't know if Agnew will be ready for the regular season. Like, I don't know if he'll be full tilt. I think that's why you have Treadwell. But, yeah, unless there's injuries, I think Austin is the odd man out. Hate to see it, but, it's just kind of how it goes, every year. So, I don't know. It should be interesting to see. Do we expect James Robinson to be 100% at all this season? Hopefully he doesn't just rush back. Man, that's going to be tough. That injury is a tough injury to come back from. Probably not. And I hope it's not one of these things where he gets hurt and he's never the same again. I hope it's not that situation. But we see it happen all the time. He seems like the type of guy that could bounce back. But I don't know. Listen, the beginning of the year last year, we talked on this show a lot about how Travis Etienne could have taken the number 1 spot from Allen or from Robinson, and it kind of seemed like that Urban wanted to kind of do that by playing Carlos Hyde more. Now we love James Robinson. I like James Robinson. He's a really good running back. he definitely will help this team, but I could see ETN at the end of the year having more production. I said that last year before he got hurt. ETN's just a guy that fits the modern NFL more than Robinson does. And it's not practical to run a guy, 20 times a game unless he's like a Derrick Henry, right? I mean, unless he's a guy that like can bust one for a huge gain or like is a bruiser and your defense can play and you have a quarterback that can do play action, you have receivers like the 20 carry per game back like only exists within good offenses. And maybe we're a good offense this year, but last year we weren't. So people's expectations of running James Robinson like 20 times a game, it wasn't realistic because we were behind all the time. Our defense couldn't get off the field. We had to make plays with Trevor. Receivers couldn't catch on the play actions, and it just. I mean, hopefully it works this year. But it might be like pie in the sky. It might be. Long as they don't recycle 15 retreads wide receiver in August again. Yeah, I know. I'll be sure to draft ETN in fantasy then. People in early drafts took ETN. People that drafted their teams early took I think ETN was rated higher than James Robinson before he got hurt in fantasy leagues. Ben Haney says, I think ETN will be the day one starter and never lose the spot ever again. Yeah, I'm with you, Ben. Gerald, if Snoop plays well, J-Rob won't have to rush back too soon. Yeah. No, I mean, look, I like what I'm seeing out of Snoop. But yeah, NFL's a different game. At Philly, Dougie used 3-back rotation. That's true. And this might blow your mind, and I couldn't believe this when I saw it, but there was one year when LeGarrette Blount, actually the year they won the Super Bowl, LeGarrette Blount was the leading rusher for the Eagles. So obviously Peterson's not afraid to use any type of back. LeGarrette Blount, it wasn't a traditional back then. I mean, when he was drafted, he wasn't a traditional back. So it doesn't really matter, I guess, if you're a James Robinson type back or an ETN. I guess that kind of throws out that argument out the window now that I think about it, if you use LeGarrette Blount the way he did. Postmodern Prophets is supporting Jimmy Smith's son. Absolutely, bro. We love Jimmy Smith around here. Jimmy Smith's awesome, and I hope his son makes it. Joseph Drawbon says, we desperately need the depth. Our injuries always screw us. That's true. I mean, there's positions you always need depth. It's a defensive back, receiver, offensive line. Always need depth there. We're really deep at linebackers. But again, people talking about, I think, Lloyd and Muma could play that like star type position, that like, covering the tight end, that's like, lined up in the slot. Like they could definitely do that. The problem is if it's like a speed guy, like, think of these teams like the Rams and the Bucks, they run those like speed slot guys, and they just run those whip routes and those zig routes and those drag across the field. And that's just going to be really hard for guys like Lloyd and Muma to cover. And that's just the only issue that I kind of see with the linebackers that we've chosen. And I like Alukin in coverage. I really do. I mean, they're decent coverage linebackers. Like they're decent. It's just they kind of all play the same thing. They kind of all play the same position. So I don't know. We'll see. Will be interesting to see what happens this year. Tonight's is kind of a shorter show, and I get it. I haven't. It is what it is. So we're gonna wrap it up there. Okay. Last comment. We'll end this comment from Gerald. Anyone see that video of Devin Lloyd looking and test driving a used car, the Shelby? He kept stalling it out. He wasn't used to a stick shift. That's hilarious. I learned to drive a stick shift as a valet in college on a Porsche 911 Turbo. It was awesome. And that's what I learned on. And I stalled it right in front of the guy. And he still tipped me, so it was awesome. Appreciate you guys being here. This is a fun show. Again, make sure to look back in the comments. I'll post it one more time. If you have not subscribed, go subscribe to my alt channel. I'm going to start on Monday doing a daily show. I will not abandon you guys, okay? I know I haven't been around for the last couple of weeks, but that was because of my other job and things like that. So I have basically June and July off, okay? So you're gonna get a lot of content out of me the next 2 months. A lot of it's going to be on the alt channel, talking about all things sports, because like a show like today, like how much is there to talk about the Jags? I mean, you listen to the guys on the radio and guys like that, there's not a lot to talk about besides how they look at camp and OTAs. So we're still going to do our Jag shows once a week at least. But listen, let's talk other sports. I mean, you guys tell me. I watch every sport. I I'm pretty deep into every single sport. Soccer, I probably wouldn't fake my way through soccer. I would let you guys talk about it, but I mean, I don't know much about that. But everything else, I watch pretty extensively. That's all I do. So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you for being a part of the live show. Again, if you're rewatching this and you're not a part of the live show, subscribe so that you can be a part of the live show. Thank you to everyone that was here. You guys are awesome. You guys make this thing happen. Make it